Okay, I think we have a decent number of attendees at the moment, and I think people will join as we go. So I'll start things off. Before we open up the discussion with the panelists, I want to give you a bit of an overview of what the program is, what the program is about, so you can have a context of what our wonderful panelists are going to be talking and sharing from their experience. So just as an introduction, we've got four panelists with us today. We have Ananya, Sarah, Atin, and Julio. So you'll get to know them and meet them very briefly. So we're looking here at the Executive MBA program given by HALT. So it's a program that's really designed to focus on four layers. Help you understand business, understand the world, understand the future, and most importantly, understand who you are. And I think these four kind of combined together make a successful leader in the future that's coming across. So in terms of business, it's covering the business aspects, covering the pillars of business from operation management, marketing, etc., etc. Understanding the world is also important. So you see a lot of things happening in the business around the world and different corners, different ways of doing business. So it's very important to be able to understand the nuance and the differences between doing business in India versus doing business in Africa, for example. The future is really what's going to differentiate leaders that are going to be successful and organizations that are going to be successful moving forward. So I always give this example, understanding technology, being able to identify the risks and the opportunities that are associated with these either emerged or emerging technologies is really what's going to set you apart and going to set the organization that you work for apart. And lastly, to be a successful, efficient leader, you have to understand yourself. Empathy, being able to know who you are and understand other people is quite important. So just to give you an idea what to expect in terms of the program. Your first year will start with your core from October to April. So here you'll cover the core courses, or at least half of them. Then from May to July is the rotations or electives period. This is where you get to pick and choose how you want to customize the program to fit your goals or your personal needs. You also have the options to rotate and take any of these electives in any of our campuses around the world. Your second year, quite similar to the first year, will have the business core courses. It will also have number 3, which is your electives again, but in the middle, you'll have your future challenge or your graduation challenge. I'm sure the panelists are asking what is the future challenge because this is a change or a twist that we're introducing this year as HALT. So you will have two options to go ahead with this. One is the corporate track, where you will work with the company as a capacity of consultants, let's say, and you will help this company resolve the business challenge that they're facing, trying to utilize as much as of the concepts that you have learned. The future comes from the fact that we're introducing the future theme to your solution. So for example, the theme could be big data. So you will have to integrate big data into the solution that you're proposing to this company. The second option that you have for the future challenge is the entrepreneurial track. This is where you have an idea and you will use the program during this future challenge to build that idea from just an idea to a business plan and a pitch to investors. Again, the future challenge still remains. You have to integrate the future theme into your business idea or into your solution moving forward. So why is the program really good, especially for working executives? And why is it called the Executive MBA? The flexibility of the program is really why we call it this way. The classes are on the weekend, so we call it the extended weekend. So in the UAE, you will have classes on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you will need to take away from work 2 days and from your life in general, 4 days in order to complete the program. You can change campuses at any point in time if you were to relocate, if you were to move to a different country, etc., etc. You will never fall behind. So you always have the option to complete any of the courses if you're not able to attend in the class. In a year, you'll have two core courses that you can take online. Learn and study anytime, anywhere. So this is again with the online aspect of being able to take some of the courses online and the flexibility of the program, being able to complete it in a duration between 18 to 24 months. So, sorry, just looking at the chat, making sure everything's okay. Yeah. So let me give you a bit of a snapshot into what one course at HALT will look like. And I think the one thing that differentiates this organization as a school is how practical the curriculum really is. So before you join us here for the 4 days, you will have the pre-learning or the preparation period. So here we have Professor Nicholas Wake. the operation management professor. So what he will do, he will release some material for you to go through before you join us in the class by around 2 weeks. So this could be videos, could be articles, could be textbook chapters. And it's kind of to get the basics for anyone who is not an operation management expert to be on the same level. You'll have a small pre-assignment that you need to complete and submit before you come to the class. So this is a way for you to reflect on the things that you have read, because in the classroom, it's really open discussion. It's you learning the concepts from the professor, and it's also you learning from your colleagues next to you. So if you come up prepared with the questions and challenging and looking at concepts in depth, you really stand to benefit the most. The 4 days are the beauty. And I think the panelists will agree with me, is when you really enjoyed the program. So in the 4 days, you're pre-assigned into a group at random. So you don't choose who you work with. In life, we say you don't choose who you love. Here, you don't choose who you work with. And then you're also pre-assigned a case study. The purpose of this is that as you go through the concepts and theories with Professor Nicholas Wake, you're also going to apply them onto your case study. So it's really not just a matter of understanding the concepts and theories and knowledge, but also figuring out how to apply them. And that's where the difference really is, because now you'll be able to take those skill sets. You will be able to learn from whether you applied those concepts successfully or you failed at it. It's relevant, but it's not extremely relevant. What's relevant is the process. It's actually applying it and trying and working on the practical side of things. On the 4th day is where you present your analysis, you present the concepts that you applied, you present your findings and your recommendations moving forward. Once you're done with the 4 days, you're back to your family, you're back to your companies, you're back to the pressures of life. And there's one more pressure that we're going to put on you, which is the post-assignment. So this is where you have to take the learnings that you have acquired so far and try to implement it in your life as much as possible. So I remember the course with Nicholas Wake was you needed to take the operation management concepts, select a department from the organization that you're working in, analyze how that department is working today, and then apply as many concepts as you can to optimize the operations of that department. Now, the advantage here is twofold. One is for you personally, being able to learn and apply what you have learned. And 2 is to the organization itself. Because if you do a good work or a good assignment, you can actually take that forward and apply it forward in your assignment as well. So let's meet our wonderful panelists. Starting with Mr. Atten, who is now residing in Germany. He works as a business development manager for Showa Denko Materials. I will leave it at that. He will tell you a little bit more about what he does, what he used to do, and how the program was for him. Ananya, who's now residing in the UAE, is Assistant General Manager at EFS Facilities Management Group. Most of us probably interacted with this organization without even realizing it. Mr. Julio D'Angelo, residing in Oman, is the Country Manager for New Park Drilling Fluids. And last but not least, we have Sara Al-Halabi, who's also residing in the UAE. She's a Senior Sales Operation Manager for Hitachi Vantara. I hope I pronounced that right. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sara, later on. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to open this for discussion. I'm going to open it to each one of our panelists to talk a little bit about their experience, about who they are, what kind of got them to the point of wanting to start the journey, and how the journey was for them. So ladies first, Ananya, floor is all yours.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me on this panel. It's really great to be here. So in terms of my journey with HALT as such, I joined HALT in 2018, and I think the MBA as such was a huge transformation for me, because when I joined the MBA, I come from a communications background. So I had 10 years of experience in the marketing and communications field. I've done my bachelor's in that. And then I specialized through a chartered marketeer certification. But the HALT journey for me was especially special because within the course of this journey, I transitioned and I progressed from, I jumped a field. So from marketing, I went into human resources. So halfway through my MBA, I changed departments and fields into human resources, because it was through the MBA itself I discovered, and I discovered that having a people interaction job was something that I was interested in. I was getting saturated with communications as such, and I wanted to explore something new. And on completing my MBA with HALT, I have taken up a leadership position in human resources, leading human resources globally. So I think I was only able to do this because of my MBA, because it gave me the skills. Basically, it gave me a couple of things. First is the confidence to learn something new, which the HALT MBA taught me, right? So you're exposed to so many new subjects, learning, working group environments, people, pressure situations, which was really amazing, because it gave me the confidence that even though I am from a communications background, I can go into a new field and function, and there is no problem in that. And I do remember something else as well. In our induction, the first induction with the Yan Dean, I remember him telling us that a lot of us, I remember him giving a percentage, I can't remember the percentage, saying that a lot of us will change industries, fields, the moment we complete the MBA. And the reason why we do this is because we discover ourselves, we discover new potentials that we have, we discover new skills that we can learn, and at either go into the entrepreneurial field or change jobs or switch roles and functions. And I hold that statement true because it's happened with me personally. And the MBA, this MBA for me, if anybody asks me how were your 2 years, I would only call it beautiful. And the reason why it's beautiful is because because the amount of relationships you build with people, you come across different people from different backgrounds, different working cultures, different perspectives, and that actually changes you. You don't realize it during your MBA journey, but once the MBA journey is done and you're back in the working environment, you really notice this transformational change in you, wherein when you're put in a new situation, you don't back away from it, when you have these new confidence levels. And there are the teaching method that they have inculcated in the whole journey really helps you. So now if you get a new project on board, or if you're asked to do a new assignment, the basics that you have learned in your HALT MBA really come in place. Something like, going and doing research, the way you present your presentations, the way you pitch to your management team. So I think these are really good, strong key takeaways, which they embed in your learning journey, whether it be through team presentations, group assignments, where, and you will see that change within you throughout the end of the journey. For me personally, in HALT, the two takeaways I always will remember, which stay close to my heart, is the HBC challenge. We decided to go with an entrepreneurial project. So the HALT business challenge was amazing. It was, I think, almost 5 months of really hard work. You choose to work with people that you have built relationships with and come up and challenge yourself. And that process of challenging, pivoting, coming back together, restructuring your idea, I think that is an experience on its own that just brings all your learnings together that you've had for the past 1.5 years, and brings it together. And then it's a perfect way to end your MBA. Staying true to what Ahmed says, also, this is a perfect example of a practical MBA, because it's just not academia. So it's academia, and at the same time you are also doing a lot of research, you're also doing a lot of group interactions. That is really interesting, because when you, at the end, when you, the end product is beautiful, and the end product is you can see the change in you, and the people around you can see the change in you. So yeah, that's it from me.
Great. Thank you so much, Ananya. You're not off the hook yet. We're going to come back to you later on. Julio is still figuring out some technical problems, so we'll pass it on to Mr. Atin. Floor is all yours.
Yeah, hi guys. Thanks for having me as well. To be honest, like I didn't think like Ananya's speech was like really good. I didn't plan that much. But for me, why I joined HALT was actually I was born and raised in Japan, and I moved to Dubai that time. And I was looking for like a more opportunity to grow myself. And I was talking to people, and I had like someone friend who was actually graduated from HALT as well, and he recommended that this HALT is it is a very challenging place, but it is a good place to grow yourself as well, and definitely learn new things and have the good connection and all that is there. But it was like really recommended from someone I know that this place is very good, very challenging, and what you get out of it is fairly promising. That when you are done after 2 years, you feel that, okay, I'm like one step above what you were. And after I was done with it, I actually felt same. I did feel that I learned a lot, and I got a lot of, let's say, basics that can definitely put it into my real world experience, like my company and my job. So it was very good. And how was my journey in general? It was fun. I'm not gonna say it's like everything was beautiful. It's fun, but it's tough. So you have to commit for sure, definitely, and you need your like a family support and everything. But again, what you get out of it is it's a really good experience with the knowledge, and definitely I would recommend to my friends and everyone actually who asks me, whether Hulk is good or not. I would recommend that they should definitely try it and have this experience, like including this business challenge and everything. Everything was really tough, but it was fun as well together. So that's why we could go through with it, and the connection we made in this whole 2 years with Ananya, Sarah, and Julia, everything was actually very nice, and I still connect with them. And one thing that I actually remember, when I joined HALT from, Lin Jin, was that he said that HALT experience it's not a competition against your cohort. You have to know that it's a kind of like you have to support each other. You're not like competing against your cohort. You don't have to drop anyone. You have to help them. By that, actually, you will grow yourself as well. And in the end, that's like the best way to learn and absorb what you see in the class and what you learn from your I guess, cohort and classmates. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Fantastic. I think you might have scared off a couple of individuals, but that's okay.
It's not
100%. 100%. I mean, listen, nothing in life will come easy. Part of the process and the challenge is pushing you outside of your comfort zone.
It's worth
right?
it, though. Yeah.
100%. Julio, welcome. He just joined us. Technical issues resolved. So we'll give him a couple of minutes to adjust and adapt. So Sarah, floor is all yours. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your experience, and how was the MBA, and how is it for you now?
Okay, one sec. Let me try to figure this out. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, great. Good evening, everyone, and hope you all are ready for this new adventure. Ahmed, by the way, I left Hitachi, and I'll tell you why we go through it. But yes, you said it right at the beginning. So when I started, I'll say this beautiful adventure, I didn't think it would be this fun. I have a background in finance, and I've been working in the IT industry for the past 13 years as the business operations. And when I decided to pursue my MBA, it was simply because I wanted, first of all, to have a master's degree, because all of my siblings had master's degrees. And second is because I wanted to start my own business. So when I did my research, everyone knows there are a lot of universities in Dubai and UAE in general that I could have attended that are, of high caliber and all that. But to be honest, I chose HALT because it's a very forward-thinking university. It's up to date. It's not your typical brick and mortar sort of university, and they have a lot of courses that support entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship, and they even have AI as an elective. So I mean, it's just on a completely different level. And the journey throughout the 2 years builds you up to be capable of understanding not only what you're focusing on, but also the business side of your company. And as Ahmed mentioned, most of the post assignments you do, literally you look inwards within the company you're working for, or the business, if you have a business in general, and judge that specific part. So whether you're taking finance, you start judging the financial part, or if you're taking operations, you judge the operations and marketing and etc. So it's literally very practical. And so what I also learned is that change is the only constant. This is what you know. And a lot changed in my life, and I'm not going to paint a rosy picture for you, So from my side, I had to go through it at the end of it with COVID, and my company had to shut down its headquarters in Dubai and UAE in general, and hence I lost my job. And throughout, Health was very supportive and understanding to my situation. But in the end, I had time. I had that, you know, you learn first course you take in Health is just the growth mindset and just not looking at the negative, but looking at the positive. And I focused on the positive thing, which is I have time to focus on my on the business that I wanted to start with, and I put the stepping stones for it. And guess what? At the same time, I got a job offer and I accepted it. And now I'm in the process of getting another job offer, which is much better. So that's good. And so yeah, so it's an up and down sort of thing. It's like everything else in life, it's up and down. And for me, Halt, the best part of Halt was honestly the friends that you make and the professors. The professors are very knowledgeable and they're top notch. And the best moments, you could say the best and the worst moments were, you know, trying to rush to finish those assignments in few hours and squeeze in those breaks with your cohort to go for dinner or drinks. And you know what, the nights we spent on campus trying to finish those assignments, man, they're endless. So my advice to you guys is to have a good supportive system. As Atten said, you need to really have a good supportive system for the next 2 years that understand that the time you'll be spending studying or finishing assignments, they have to give you that time. And as also Ahmed said, you know, it's on weekends, so you have to say bye-bye to your weekends most of the time. And trust me, as I look back right now and I have those weekends back for me, I really don't know what to do with them anymore. You know, I have all of this free time, I really don't know what to do. Like I'm used to having all of these assignments due or something due. So honestly, I wish you the best of luck, and I congratulating you by taking this step. And it will be the best time of your life, really, that you had in a really long time. So good luck, you guys.
Thank you, Sarah, and congratulations.
And we have another Atten, by the way, that didn't rename himself Julio. You have to rename yourself.
Yeah, you need to rename him.
Yeah, I've been sending him chat, but he's not reading it. So.
No problem. I think we can recognize by the difference in looks slightly. We could go for brothers.
I try to sneak inside the Zati, so you got it. Right?
Sarah, thank you very much for sharing that, and congratulations on the new job. Hopefully, up and onwards from here. Julio, welcome. Floor is all yours. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and your journey with HALT.
Yeah, hello guys. Nice to see you again after all this training there, or all the classes. I have.
By the way, there are people that we can't see, but they're there. Yeah.
I know. I'll address them. No worries. So. I have a particular background because I have a degree in architecture, but I work in the oil and gas as a manager. So a strange history behind me. Life brought me here, and at a certain point of my career, I felt the need to step ahead in a way that my company couldn't really give me. So I found HALT to be the right choice because it's forward-looking, as I said, my colleague said, and it's flexible enough that so you can organize yourself around the study. I have a family as well. I have a 5-year-old daughter, so you can imagine I'm quite a busy family, and I live in Muscat, so I was traveling back and forth from Muscat to Dubai, and I mean, it's not easy. You need to organize yourself. You need to decide to give some sleeping hours away, especially during the assignments. But definitely it gives you, I feel like I had that kind of knowledge that can let you step ahead in any career, because it's applicable to whatever field you want to be in, or you are already in. So I'm in oil and gas now, looking to change. It's not the best place to be at the moment. And the tools it gives me, I can see that are already applicable to my case, because I grew in this company without training. You grow just looking at your bosses and what you should do, looking in Google, but you don't really get a proper understanding of many things. So my big, let's say, the wall or the mountain I need to climb was finance. And that was pretty stressful. But it's, I mean, from the accounting course,
it was horrible.
The accounting course is the first impact with numbers, and if you're not in the finance accounting world, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to pass it through, but it's interesting. The teachers are very good. I mean, they can explain. I strongly believe that when you explain something very complicated with easy words and easy concept, that means that you really know what you're talking about. It's the kind of stuff that you follow the lesson, you understand everything. Then when you open the book by yourself, is all another story, right? But you remember you understood what you're reading, and somehow it comes back at the end. So I mean, it's hard, but it's a fantastic experience, and you meet great people. The real deal there is to make it with your friends. So it's really great. I hope you got the same experience I had. And I mean, we did it in person in class, and now is everything online, and that's a big difference. And I hope you can experience the same level of friendship and engagement, because I found that the last course, the business challenge, we did it online, was very different. I mean, I don't know if it let me feel a bit old, because I'm the old school that you take your backpack and you go to school, and now you just open the laptop but we managed it, and it is good. I guess the difficulty is to build a relationship in an online environment, but that's an important thing. So my recommendation is to try to get with your group, also if it's online, to pass the barrier of the unpersonal contact, less contact, and point on them, ask for help. Everybody's in your situation, and everybody's willing to help. So really, really great experience. Thanks.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Julio. I think just to touch on the last bit that you spoke about, the online experience versus the in-person experience, I think each of them has its advantages and disadvantages, in the sense, like you said, with the in-person, building those relationships is a lot easier. But then for your case, you had to travel, you had to fly, and that was the inconvenience of having to be there physically and so on, with the advantage of the building relationship. On the other hand, you get the convenience of not having to travel and so on with the virtual, but then you miss out on the relationship building and so on. So it's interesting, but I think, let me ask you guys.
Can I add something? I just need to add something on this. To be honest, this is true in one sense, that you miss out on building relationships. But again, because we did since, I think it was March when we started going online, and we knew the cohort from before, so it was easy for us. But when we took the electives during summer, some of the, you get a lot of alumni, and you get a lot of MIBs and MBA year one. So when we did that, we actually, you get to see them virtually as well, but you build that relationship, but obviously you miss that human interaction. But the relationship, because I see a lot of questions coming along about building relationships and having friends along the way. You do that, you build that relationship. And actually I have a lot that are on LinkedIn, and we're still in contact, and some of them are on Facebook as well, and Instagram. So even though we haven't really met face to face, but we have connected in that sense. But I'm hoping that soon enough you guys get to go on campus, because like everything else, nothing beats the face-to-face interaction.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much, Sarah. If anyone wants to add anything, the floor is yours now before we start to fire some questions your way.
Ready.
All right, I'll take that as a no. So let's look into some of the questions. The first one here we have from Michelle. Did you find going from communication to all financials and financial accounting management difficult? I think this is mainly for Ananya.
Yeah, so it was difficult, but it was not impossible, because as Julio said, the professors are really good. So for accounting, we had Mustafa, and for finance, we had Paulina. So
Mufid.
Yeah, Mufid. Yes, Mufid. So Mufid
guys,
and Paulina.
You're gonna love him. You're gonna love Professor Mufid, by
Yeah,
the way.
especially the exam.
Yeah. So Mufid teaches you accounting like basics 101. So he really gets down and, really teaches you. So it was challenging. I wouldn't say it was not challenging, but at the same time, at the end of the day, we all managed it. We all managed it. For a lot of us were from non-accounting, non-financial backgrounds. We went for the course. We had the assignment. We had exams as well for finance, I guess, and we all managed it. That's because because the MBA does teach you resilience, right? So you do manage to get through, and then you have the support of the entire cohort as well with you. So that's one thing I realized also. So when you are falling back, if you need support from anybody, everybody's more than happy to work with you, help you, teach you. There have been instances where I've had support of my colleagues, of my friends teaching me, or especially in accounting and finance, you go to the breakout rooms. Everybody's more than happy to help you, because the objective is to clear the course with good grades. The objective is to help each other out. So there are courses that might be challenging for everybody, but I've not heard a situation where nobody's been able to, because of it's just the course being hard. Everything is hard, but you just find a way, because that's the commitment you have taken for this MBA.
And I want to add one thing here. When they teach you these courses, they have no preconception that you know anything about it. So literally, when they teach you basics. Even in accounting, he comes along, he teaches you basics, and as if you literally don't know any acumen or any nothing. So you start from ground zero and you build up. So it's it will come along. It will add along as you go along.
Yeah. And to add on what Sarah said as well, if you find certain courses challenging, make use of the module. That means the course is structured in such a way that the content is given to you at least 2 or 3 weeks in advance, right? So if you see that there is a challenging course ahead of you, try preparing for the course a bit before the course starts. When I say preparing, doesn't mean that you need to put in a lot of time, but if you could manage at least 3 or 4 or 5 hours before the course actually starts, so you know what you're getting into, you're framed in that kind of mindset, so you can actually be ready for that course mentally, and take every day as it comes. So yeah, just be prepared for courses that might be challenging for you.
Well, I had things to add, but I don't have any more. I think you guys covered everything greatly. So the next question we have here is from Fatma. Was there a time you felt, I can't do this, and just stopped? What am I trying to ask? Was it overwhelming? Sarah, I see you shaking your head. So
I just need to state something. The first day we join HALT, they make you write a letter to yourself and your future self for the next 2 years. So when I got my diploma, I opened the letter, and literally the second paragraph was, you know what, today you feel like quitting, but don't quit. I wanted to quit from day one. And I've done this so many times in my life, but I always put the what do you call it, the end in front of me. So I would never, I really I wanted to quit 100 times, just so you know. But you need to have that persistence, and it's just that bump. Literally, once you go after that bump, which would be half an hour, 1 hour, one day, then you're gonna see the sun. So yes, the question is yes. And remember the end result, remember your goal, and remember why you're doing it and why you're here. This is much more important than the tiny minutes or days that you have that are you're in doubt.
For me, right, like it was like I had this time almost like the fourth day or the third day of every class. Basically, like we stay until like a midnight in on campus and discussing or fighting. You can say either way on the conclusion of our team. Those times were very overwhelming, and I feel like, oh man, I just want to go home and that's it. But still, as just Sarah said, like this is not, it's just a part of it. And what we get in the end, that's what you have to think about. And life after actually as well. So yeah, I mean, there were some times, but now I feel like everything was good experience. The fight with that guy, fight with that guy, everything was very good experience.
Greatly put, guys. So can you provide more details about the culture and values of HALT?
That's a tough question.
That's a tough question.
I'm thinking.
It's actually an easy question, guys. Come on.
You take it.
Go on, go on. I'm learning from you.
Yeah.
Well, the first value that you learn is, first of all, no plagiarism, no nothing, right? So you have to be completely honest. Okay, guys?
Commitment.
One. Two is commitment. Three is the growth mindset. Always having that positive attitude, and you see it also within the staff. Every single person, they have that positive attitude. Sometimes you come in, you're like, oh, I just slept, literally, I just slept. I was here 10 minutes ago and I'm back on campus, and I have to see everyone comes up with a smile and they always push you forward. And there are a lot of good values within HALT that I take forward. And to be honest, for me, when I started this, I only did it for my master's and I wanted to improve myself. But then as I went along and I started doing things, something in me changed. Like, okay, you know what? I could do this. I could stay on weekends. You know what? Why don't I change myself? I was overweight. I think I was almost 15 kilos overweight. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to take on this challenge, and I want to improve my physical, not only mental, but only physical. And then you change your attitude towards things and towards life. So it changes you bit by bit. Again, it's not easy, and it's not a cute, rosy road. Again, yeah, I just have to say this. But when you look back, you see all of this and realize, you know what? It's just, I've been through all of that, and guys, it's amazing. Yeah. So don't look at the tiny things and the tiny bumps. It's just a bump in the road, and this usually happens. Just look forward, and these are the values that you take forward with you, and the mentality as well. And this is what values I take with me, even though we speak about it a lot, but when you experience it week in, week out, this is when it actually embroids in you.
Fantastic. Okay, so the next couple of questions, I think I'll address them, so they're not really related too much to the experience. So one is, I'll be coming to Dubai in a couple of days before orientation. Is there any material we need to prepare for regarding the first course? So to anonymous attendee, the first course, there's no preparation. Once you start the class and you join the course, that's when they will kind of induct you into the program, and you kind of know what to expect moving forward. Galaxy S9 asks, I would like to have more information about the program breakdown and what is the percentage of face-to-face courses, and if we can choose some specific areas that we'd like to enhance. So the executive MBA is technically a fully face-to-face, and that's the 4 days that you have for every class. There are parts of it where you have to do some work before by yourself, and then the post assignment, which you do individually, and you'll submit that online. In terms of specific areas you want to enhance, that's where the electives come in. So through the course, as you complete the first round of your core courses, or if you already know that I want to become better in finance or I want to become better in marketing, you will tailor your course by taking the electives and subjects related to that. Or you can choose to take the courses that you're interested in. So this is completely up to you. This is where you get to customize it for yourself. The next question is from Laura. So when we start in Dubai next few weeks, I'm a bit confused as we have the link to do seminar meetings online. Also, though, been told we have to come to Dubai. So I'm booking a hotel as I live in Abu Dhabi. So is this essential? Yes. Yeah, so Laura, for the executive MBA, the classes are starting on campus. If you're in Abu Dhabi and you're able to make it to the campus, by all means do. As the guys shared here, that person-to-person and face-to-face experience is really important and really good for the program. Olfa is asking, I'm a communication person as well, and I'm wondering how can you apply some of the practical learnings at work, which obviously can't be all applied to communications department. Ananya, this is for you again.
Yeah, so I was just reading that question as well. So I think communication is a key skill, and you will notice this from your first day in your class, because as communications, I mean, what you learn in communications, you know, everything in terms of team dynamics, working on presentations, that really helps you. Also, whatever you learn, all the subjects that you learn in your MBA will definitely help you back in communications, just the way you think. So understanding a bit of accounting, understanding how the financials work is imperative for somebody who is in the communications. How do you work around a budget? Subjects like operations management, or subjects like your electives, like, you know, management psychology, digital marketing, all these subjects really help you as well, because you learn something new from, and you learn what's happening currently, what's happening in the industry, from industry best practices, from the best professors, and you get to apply that in your working environment as well. So there's no problem if you're in communications. I think as communications, it'll be an added advantage for you, because you have these additional set of skills which you will be able to explore, and from all the other subjects that you have been exposed to, you can take back anything and everything in your current working environment. And it doesn't, what you're going to realize through the MBA journey is, at the end, you're not going to limit yourself as a communications only. You know, you are going to have knowledge in so many other subjects, which is just going to add and give you so much of confidence as well.
Great, great, great. Thank you, Ananya.
Yeah.
The next question comes from Shakir. Thank you very much all for speaking about your great experience. The question is, are we going to complete part of the assignment during the month in the campus, face-to-face communication? What would be different from pre-COVID-19? I'm not sure I completely understand. Anyone pick up that question?
No, I think this is for you.
Yeah,
Just
I think it's a technical
elaborate
question.
a bit more about like the
Attendance.
post-assignment and the during class assignments
Okay.
versus
Shakir,
COVID, pre-COVID.
I will type the answer for that because we have a lot of questions. So I would like to get the guys to speak, and I'll type the answer out for you. So Laura asks, I'm already in a strong position with the local relationships in developing my ideas in business and contacts and meetings and happenings, etc. Currently getting senior funding potentially looked at. So can I also use the down the line as might be already in developed area of business in quiet as, okay, Laura, can you rephrase that question and we'll come back to you. So Dorothy is asking, this question is for Julio. Coming from an oil and gas background, how did you effectively manage to strike a balance, rather several balances, to leverage between managing a lead-in and then halt as a challenge of its own forte?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I understood the question. I mean, it's I don't understand why the oil and gas background. I mean, that's the HALT is as an MBA is applicable to any kind of industry, and gives you. I mean, I think it's also quite a step back compared to other industries. It's not that developed, especially if you are in a service company like me. So you can really, while you study, you got new subjects, you can really see the gap between what is going on now in the world on any level, on marketing, on strategy, finance, and what you actually are in your company, which situation you are in your company. So, and you can leverage a lot on it because, for example, just a few days ago, we started a new project and they asked to prepare a P&L, and I was capable of doing a P&L. You know, before the MBA, you say P&L, I say, okay, what color you want? You know, it's someone else do it. Now I can read it, I can understand, and I can do something about it. So you can actually use what you learn a lot. I believe not only in the oil and gas, but especially in the oil and gas, it moves you forward a lot. Sometimes it moves you forward a little bit too much because the other people don't understand it. But it's really, really helpful, yes.
Oh, fantastic. Muhammad has a very interesting and Long question, so I'm going to summarize and see if I can take the gist out of it. So I think the main gist is for you guys, why did you choose HALT compared to other schools when you have some multinationals and some companies that are only looking at the top 2 or 3 schools maximum when it comes to hiring? So what was it for you that made you choose HALT, looking back to when you were making your decision and also now that you have completed the program?
I can take that. For me, when I was doing the selection process, so I was looking at other universities as well. There was there was London Business School, and then there was INSEAD as well. And I did go to both these universities, and I did go to HALT, and I attended the HALT orientation. What was it called, Ahmed, the master class that you get to attend before
The
choosing?
weekend, HALT weekend?
Yeah, the
MBA
HALT
weekend.
weekend. Yeah, the MBA weekend. So I did attend that class as well, just to understand how the courses are structured. What I did like about HALT was, it's specific to you, right? So for HALT, when I compared it with the other programs, I understood that it was firstly more flexible. So flexible as in you just need to give in 4 days of your time every month for the course, and then the remaining you need to manage it between your working schedule and your other weekends, that is your post assignments, which I thought was very interesting. Secondly, when I did go to the HALT forum and when I went to the university itself, the interactions that I had with the professors during the e-weekend with the enrollment advisor, they were able to answer and adjust to all my queries. NCR was not an option for me because it was based in Abu Dhabi and the program itself was too intensive. And the same thing with London Business School as well. So it depends on person to person. For me, HALT was different because it focused on the practical knowledge and the perfect blend of the practical knowledge teaching with the academia, and the profile of the professors were good, the faculty was good. So that stood out for me when I went for the interview sessions. That gave me a positive feeling as well. So that was the reason I chose HALT, because I don't know, the campus, the culture, the people, the values, everything just fell into place. So yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ananya. Um, Another question that I think a lot of people might be asking, what is the weekly commitment that you need to put in order to complete the program? And this is hourly commitment. I don't know if you can be that specific, but Atan, you want to give it a shot?
Yeah, this is what you learned in HALT. The best answer is it depends.
Yeah.
But it depends on whether, let's say, you want A in every single class, or how much of the base knowledge you had about that class, or what level of discussion you could do during the class. All that matters. And then for the final assignment, also you have to do a lot of research and all. But again, it depends. It depends on what the quality you are looking for, what kind of research you want to do, and what kind of base knowledge you have. So, but for me, it was, let's say, a lot. Especially, I had to, like, when I had the class, you have to submit your assignment 2 weeks later, and at least those next 2 weekends, those are gone for research and writing the paper and fixing it and then submitting it. So on the weekdays you have the work. I'm assuming all of you has it's EMBA. Most of you has work. So usually it becomes on the weekend, and your weekends are almost not there for next 2 years. But as Sarah said, it feels a lot, but now you don't even know if you had that much time, what are you going to do? So, but you have to really commit to it for sure. But it's going to be a lot of hours.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ananya.
I'm just thinking on attendance, so he's exactly right on, how much of commitment do you want for each paper. So I'm sure all of us during our MBA, we've experienced our friends sitting beside us who have actually read through all the course material and all the case studies and really come prepared for the subject. But if you just want a basic hourly, if you were asking probably before the course starts, if the course is starting on Thursday, maybe just 2 days before the course, put in an hour or two of reading every day. So you know what's going to happen on the first day. And then for the post assignment that is due 2 weeks after your course is over, you'll have to give in the weekends, at least one day every weekend, a Friday and a Saturday, just to complete your paper and make sure you've submitted a strong paper.
Great. There was an interesting question that I saw here. I believe From Nitin. So Nitin is asking, leadership is one of the core modules. Have your leadership styles changed over the duration of the course, and how?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe it's not only the leadership they teach is not only in the leadership class, is pretty much in every class. Maybe probably the accounting doesn't have really much leadership because that's nothing. I mean, difficult to not applicable, but most of the time it's all about leadership. And what you understand is not only through the learning, but also through the environment you are in. Since basically you are all professionals or living or most living abroad with already an experience. So you hear all the other experiences and you realize actually that there is a study behind, and there are some more points to consider when you deal with employees or when you deal also with your bosses and other people, you know, and considering not only on basic level, like you know, before doing the master, but also on a cultural level, they teach you also that based on the culture you come from, how big is the difference, and that's something that really struck me. That basically, if just an example, if I learned that if you go and talk with a strong Asian culture, you don't say that you did something wrong. You just highlight what did you do good. They actually automatically understand what did you do wrong, right? So, and from my point of view, it's completely opposite. So this is just an example, but leadership is basically in every course you attend.
No, I think greatly put, and I think with leadership, I always put it this way, there's two levels to leadership. There's kind of looking on the inside, understanding who you are as a leader and what's your leadership style. And then secondly is looking on the outside and understanding who am I leading and what do I need to show them to help them become better at what they're doing. And then understanding the differences in people, understanding the generational differences. So somebody who's 20 versus leading someone who's in their early 40s, completely different, two different ball games, different generations, different cultural backgrounds, etc., etc. So there's a question here, and I think if each one of you can quickly try to give your takes on this one. What are the top 5 skills or value additions you got from your journey? And how will this add value to your future journey? You don't have to put 5, as many as you can remember.
I
But
can take those.
five will make the program
No,
look really.
I can start before you guys, while you guys think. So it's persistence, perseverance, consistency, positivity, and you know, never settle for mediocre. Always wanting more. Let's put it in one word. What's that one word of always wanting more?
Excellence.
Striving
Excellence.
for
Excellence.
Growth.
No, it's not excellence.
Growth mindset.
No, you can never achieve excellence. You're just
Yeah, but you're
getting
always
better,
striving
always
for
wanting-
better.
Yeah, striving for.
You're like in a learning path all the time.
All right,
Next.
Sarah, thank you for that. Atin, jump in.
For me, I think I want to say just one, but the one big thing I learned was a lean mindset. So when you get into any blockage, you have to be really, lean about the problems and the people as well, situation as well. And especially in Hull, you have like so many level of professionals there. They all have this kind of pride that, it's there, but you have to lean about the situation, how you talk to people, how you manage the people. It goes back to leadership skill, how you lead the group in a certain way that you also believe in it. You also believe as well. So that lean mindset with moving forward ability, I guess, is what I think I learned the most in the course.
Ananya,
Okay, I'll
any of
go.
you want to jump? Go.
Yeah, okay. So I think for me, critical thinking is something that, I got through the program, through all our assignments that we had. It just puts you in different situations with different people. And the second thing, I think, which has helped me immensely, especially since I'm in a people role, is conflict resolution, working with different teams, different people, that really helps you. Your communication skills, they improve so much, whether it be verbal, written, presentation skills. That is a huge takeaway from HALT. And you can just see that for yourself. And time management, you will get experts, you will know how to manage your time. I mean, I am so proud of myself at the end. Like you just end up managing your work and your studies, and then there are so many of our colleagues who have families and kids, so hats off to them. So you really know how well to manage your time because you've committed to the program. And all of these things will help you in your future journey as well, because they just help you. And this thirst of learning, right? So when you finish the program, you will just realize that there is no full stop to learning, and there is no age to learn as well. So you'll always have this need and want to learn and become better at what you are and what you do professionally, and it also passes on to your personal life.
Fantastic. We're running low on time. There is one question here from Shaker. I think he rephrased the earlier one. So the question is about, other than the 4 days per month, are we going to have days during the month to work on assignments in the campus together, like described by the panelists? Because this is a very interesting part of the experience as described. And what would be difference in that from the situation before COVID-19? So basically,
I think maybe Ahmed, yeah.
Did you guys meet outside of, let's say, the 4 days of class to work on assignments or to work on anything like that?
Other than business challenge, no. The last, the 5 months of the work, we had this, it was COVID, so it was like all virtual meet, but yeah, other than that, once 4 days is done, there's no group assignment mostly.
Your group assignment is done during the 4 days.
Yeah, or Saturday or Sunday, so you're usually done during the weekend.
Exactly. So it's your personal assignment, so you don't have to meet anyone if you want. You can just go to campus and get some help if you want.
But then again, everybody did end up meeting because used to have some or the other event, used to catch up for dinner or drink. So you have that kind, but not in terms of the assignment itself.
Great. Michelle is asking, can you do this course from outside of Dubai? So I'm assuming if you're living outside of Dubai, would you be able to make it work? I think we have an example of a gentleman here who's doing that. Julio?
Yeah, I mean, I attend the whole program from Muscat. It's a lot of traveling, but definitely you get to get the gold card for the airline. That's a given. That's a plus. You organize yourself. I mean, I used to arrive the night before the beginning of the weekend, and either leaving early morning on Monday or late night on Sunday. I mean, Sunday is quite risky because you don't know what time you present and when you finish, and then it depends how far you are. Muscat is just 1 hour flight, so it was pretty quick to go back and forth. But it's doable, definitely, and it's worth to go travel and meet people and attend in person, definitely.
Fantastic. Guys, I think we are a minute away from the end of this. Thank you, guys. Thank you to all the panelists. There's a couple of questions that weren't answered. If it's okay with the panelists, the attendees, you can connect with them on LinkedIn. You can drop your questions. The nice ones out of them will answer, so you guys can find out who are the nice ones. Just to end things off, let me share again my screen. So questions are done.
Can I add only one thing?
Of course.
There were very good times also on the high five in front of the campus. I mean, there is time to enjoy, to have a drink together, to hang out. I mean, it's not that terrible as it sounds. So there is a good, there is time off. I mean, there is
negotiate discounts.
But there is free time, and it's not that terrible as we pictured it.
I'm glad you guys let them know that part. So now they want to start. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. So here is me in a picture. I always like to put this. I don't know why. So this is my contact details. If any of you is not already part of the process but is interested in finding out more or getting starting the enrollment process to start with us, feel free to get in touch. This is the enrollment process, so I'm going to briefly go over it. There's an online application that you activate by going to the link at the top left corner. You will submit some of the documents that are required. You will conduct an interview with one of our directors. Then you'll wait for a decision. And once the decision is done, you will make your decision to confirm your seat and start the beautiful journey with us. There's a couple of upcoming events. Most recent one, or the closest one, is 1st of October with one of our professors from the US campus from Boston, from Jim Crow to Black Lives Matters, and then a couple more. Feel free to go to the events page, hult.edu/events, where you'll find a list of all the events that are coming up. With that being said, connect with us, and thank you very much for your time. Have a great evening all.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye, guys.
everybody.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.